The CattleUSA Daily Podcast. Today, we are here to talk about banking and things that I am sure that your banker wishes that you knew as a person involved in production agriculture, as business owners, whatever that may look like for you. We are going to be talking debt structure. We're going to be talking cash flow, some tips, tricks, all the things today. So diving right in, let's start with debt structure. Here's the thing, not all loans are created equal. So here's the main thing with debt structure. Structuring your loans to match the type of expense matters, and it can make or break your cash flow at the end of the day. So let's talk operating debt versus term debt. Operating loans are short-term loans that need to be used for things like feed, vet bills, seed, fuel, etc. You borrow, use, and pay within a year. Term loans are long-term loans. Think things like your land, machinery, pasture development. These things should be paid off over several years. So for example, using an operating loan to build a fence or to buy breeding stock is like using a credit card to remodel your kitchen. The numbers just don't match. And here's why that matters. When you pay off long-term investments quickly, it can wreck your monthly cash flow. You'll feel like you're always behind, even if your business is profitable. So here's the thing. Your banker doesn't just look at how much you owe. They care what's in it for, what it's for, and how you're paying it back. You need to match the life of the loan to the life of the asset. Okay, now let's talk cash flow. Your banker's love language. And honestly, as a business owner, my love language too. I love to have cash flow. And here's the thing, profit on paper is great, but cash flow is what actually pays the bills. Cash flow does not equal profit. You can be a profitable business, but still not have money in the bank when every payment is due. Bankers want to see that you can keep things going from month to month, especially during volatile market cycles. Here's what you can show. Can you cover loan payments if cattle prices drop by 10%? What happens if feed costs jump this winter? Are you timing your purchases around sales and income? They want to see this. They want to see that you have a plan and that you have the cash flow to cover things if life doesn't go according to your plan. So here are some tips on how you can improve your case with your banker. I want you to know your break even. Know how much per head you need to make to cover all of your costs. At the end of the day, being in the yellow is better than being in the red. I want you to track your historical cash flow. I want you to look back on last year's numbers and maybe even the year before that. What months were tight and why were they tight? And I want you to start simple. A basic Excel spreadsheet is often enough to give your banker confidence. You don't need some big fancy software to look smart, although those softwares do help and they do make it much easier to look back year over year and be able to find those numbers, run reports, and get all of that ready for your bankers. If you can't explain how money moves in and out of your operation, your banker sure can't explain it to their boss. So help them help you. Because they want to. They want to be your business partners in this. They want to be a resource that you can continue to use. And so help them help you get that loan, get that operating agreement, whatever that may be that you need for your business. So here is how to earn a yes. Bankers don't like surprises. Be the borrower that's easy to say yes to. So here are some big things that you can do to help secure that yes for you. I want you to come prepared, and I want you to come so overly prepared. Like, I want your binder to be so thick. You have every single thing that you could possibly need. You can answer every question. I want you to come prepared. I want you to show up with numbers, have last year's profit and loss statements. I want you to have a current balance sheet and a plan for what the money is going to be used for. For example, I'm asking for $50,000 to background 100 calves. Here's my estimated cost per head, and here's what when I plan to sell them and how much I plan to sell them for. Based off of this year's market and last year's market, here's what our anticipated numbers are going to be. Next, I want you to build a relationship. You need to be checking in with your bankers before you need money. Let them know how this year's going. Check in with them. Bring them coffee. Like, make a relationship with your bankers and with your banking system to continue to build that relationship before you need to come knocking for money. I want you to invite them to tour your ranch or sit in on your annual review with your board. They want to be involved and want to be a member of your team that you can continue to rely on. Remember, they are people too, and trust goes both ways. Here are some traits of a strong borrower. You need to have clean books. Even if your books are handwritten, make sure it adds up and make sure it makes sense. You need to have a clear plan, not just we want to grow, but how, when, why, and why does it make financial sense? You need to be understanding your risk when you're going into these conversations. Acknowledge price volatility and have a plan for managing it. Is it hedging? Is it insurance, etc.? I want you to have confidence in yourself. If you don't believe in your plan, you cannot expect your banker to believe in it either. And here is a piece of advice that I recently got from another individual that I am friends with in the banking industry within ag. And he said something that just makes so much sense. He said, mow your ditches. Mow your ditches. When he is looking at giving really big ag loans to people, he is that person that will go drive by operations. And if you mow your ditches, you're more likely to get a loan. If you don't mow your ditches, you're not getting a loan from him. He says that this relates directly to how you take care of your operation, how you care about your perception to the public, and how you step out into the world matters. If you mow your ditches, you're probably going to be paying your loan. So mow your ditches, take care of your operation, have an operation that when you drive into is worth looking at and shows respect for yourself, respect for your cattle, respect for the industry, and just puts forward a good foot. So mow your ditches. And here's the biggest mistake that I see people making. They are waiting entirely too long. Do not wait until you are out of feed or missing a note to start the conversation and ask for the money. Start the relationship way beforehand, and then if things start looking down, you need to start having those conversations now, because getting an operating loan, getting a long-term loan takes longer than a couple days most of the time, especially if you are looking into extenuating circumstances or if you're looking into doing a specific loan through something like FSA or different operational things that we can do in ag. Those take time. So do not wait too long. Your bankers don't want you to be perfect. They want you to be prepared. Be the producer that makes their job stupid easy. If someone comes to me for something, as a person that owns a marketing agency, my soul lights on fire when someone comes to me and they say, hey, this is what we need. This is what we're looking for. This is the outcome that we would like to have. And as a person that owns a business, I can sit there and be like, okay, this is what we can do to get that outcome. As someone within ag, it is so important that you make these bankers' job stupid easy, because they have to go report to someone else as well to get that loan approved. So when you're going to your banker, be an advocate for yourself, share the numbers, make their job so easy that it is easy for them to say yes to you. At the end of the day, your banker wants to help you and they have to manage risk too. They are also business owners. If you can bring clarity, honesty, and a plan to the table, you are ahead of 90% of other borrowers out there. And the thing is when debt is done right, it is a tool and a tool to be used properly, especially within ag. And it is a tool, not a trap. Understanding how to use it gives you the power to grow on your terms. And here's the thing, guys, having a relationship with your banker and having a banker that is on your side and in your corner advocating for you and your business is going to be something that is going to make or break your operation. So get out there, go start making those relationships with bankers. And at the end of the day, I am a person that can sit here and kind of tell you some tips and tricks and some key points about it. But your banker and that relationship that you make with them is going to be exponentially more informational to you than anything that I'm going to say here. I just had a conversation with our banker a couple weeks ago because we're looking at getting a loan for a project that we're doing and going and just sitting down with him. We're not ready to do this project for like another Probably 5 or 6 months, if I'm being honest. But going and just sitting down with them and being like, hey, we have this idea. Here's the thought. Can you tell me your thoughts on this and how we need to be going about this? And then when it comes time for us to get this loan, what do you need from us? What does that look like? What do you think our APR is going to be at? All of those things. Just having that conversation absolutely put my heart and my mind at ease about the whole situation. Because debt can be scary, but if used properly, it can be such a great tool for ag operations. I hope that you guys got some really great information from this and that you were able to gain some understanding and just some tips and tricks on how to make your banker's life easier and how to walk into banks with confidence and be able to continue to grow your operation and grow it to all of the degrees that you guys want to. So as always, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's. If you did, please like, subscribe, rate, review, do all of the things. We really appreciate it. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and we will see you all on another episode next time. Have a good one, y'all.